And I believe that fee's $20, not $35. $35 is for the ammo. One time.
Go ahead, sir.
Hi, my name is John Sinquia. I live in Branford. Anything in this bill would have prevented Sandy Hook? I'm just curious in your opinion.
Well,
I know the answer, but
I
I'd
know
like your opinion.
90% of people in the room here are going to say, no, we're not preventing Sandy Hook. I don't know if we're, maybe not. But what this bill does is it says that if you are a gun owner and you have somebody in the house who's ineligible to have a permit of a gun, there's now strict liability on you if you don't properly lock up the gun. So if you have someone in your household who, or is around your household,
we
who has mental health issues, or is a felon, you have a stricter liability to, because it's
So it's not going to prevent the next shooting? Because anybody, you follow this unconstitutional law, which I believe you passed, and you register your AR, you register your magazines, and you have them at home. We can all keep everything. You say we can keep everything we have. It's not going to prevent the next Sandy Hook, correct? It's a yes or no?
We don't know that definitively.
You absolutely know that. Absolutely, because absolutely. And now my next question is, because this is semantics now, is what are you going to do about those of us who will not comply with this law?
That's up to you. That's your right if you want to.
I spoke with you earlier today.
Let me finish. As far as Sandy Hook, we don't know if it would have or wouldn't have, but we also have an obligation. We have the obligation to do our best to protect public safety.
So I'm a 30-year public servant, 20-year career fireman,
right.
Okay, United States Navy veteran, upstanding citizen all my life, three children, and with the stroke of a pen from the ivory tower with the gold top, you've decided to create me to be a felon, a Class D felony, for doing absolutely nothing wrong. Okay? And you want to tell us what a wonderful job you did here with, oh, it could have been this bad, but this is all we gave to you. Lenny, it's wrong. I'm telling you right now.
Why do you think you are a Class D felon?
Because I would choose to not comply with this unconstitutional law.
That's your option. I can't, if you choose that course, then maybe those are the penalties that you face. But
okay, well, since we're going down the course of China, why don't we pass a law from the ivory tower up there? We can only have one child. Do I have to choose which of my two child I have to kill because I can only have one child now?
That wasn't our intent.
It's exactly your intent. You tried to citizen. Listen. You coat this all beautiful. It could have been this bad, but we only made it this bad. Over here, you're still a felon. Next year, it's going to be the same thing. This is coming back. We hear it from Danny Boy and Malloy all the time up there. Oh, this is a great first step. Oh, everybody says it's a great first step. We're coming back for more. I got one shot. What's his name down there? My representative. I don't want to say his name. Meyer. You people really think they're going to stop? I'm telling you right now, I will never vote for any of you again. I'm done. Okay? And you lost everybody's vote in this place. You're done. It's a joke. It's a joke. You think you saved us by this great thing. Let them pass all this. Let them do it. Because, people, it's unconstitutional. You think it's constitutional? It is Give me the definition. Okay, let's talk. I want your definition of the Second Amendment in Section 1, Article 15.
Let me
of the state constitution.
I know you're upset, and I know you're emotional. I get that. Don't worry. I get that.
I'm usually loud anyways. I'm telling you.
I know. Don't worry, but it doesn't bother me. I understand you're frustrated. I understand what you're saying. And we represent a lot of people. There's no question in my mind, because I know the Capitol, you don't. And I'm being respectful. You know me. There's no question that 90% of what you see on this board would have passed. You know, excuse me, sir, can you wait, please? You'll have an opportunity to talk to the mic. Okay? 90% of what's on here would have passed. There's no question about it. We have other obligations as well. I want to make sure that Mossberg stays in North Haven. The best I can tell, that Mossberg would stay in North Haven. Dave and I had an obligation. We met with Mossberg a bunch of times. I know Ivor very well. Went to school with him. I want to make sure they stay in North Haven. That's criteria number one. Getting 7 of their 8 guns off the list was major. Number 2, I know this Capitol. I know what they could do. I know what they can pass.
And they're going to.
In the guns.
And they're going to next year.
Now, if you say they're going to do it next year, once again, I know what goes on at the Capitol. I'm not, just know how that building works. I suggest to you, will they try to pass more gun legislation next year? No guarantees, but I don't think so, because we've done something on it. We have. And that happens a lot at Capitol. When there's a controversial issue and you tackle it, it tends to go away. That's just the way it is. But I can't make any guarantee. But I will tell you this, that the taste for it is not going to be there. Sandy Hook was a big issue. Everyone will tell you. And what was happening up there was good. That didn't matter to us. What mattered to us was what we were going to do in terms of protecting gun owners. So you're not here saying, Len, it's unfair that we're paying this much in taxes. It's unfair that every gun I own, I have to register every single year. And when you argue, is that unconstitutional? I don't know. Obamacare, they say that legislators can tax up the wazoo, and it's not unconstitutional. That's what the Supreme Court
Yeah, but my
said.
Second Amendment is in the Constitution. It's a right. It's not a driver's license where it's a privilege. Healthcare is not a right either.
But
we are talking about a right which shall not be infringed.
Right. And it's been ruled that a permit for a handgun can require a license. That's why you get a permit for a handgun. You can't have a handgun and walk around town unless you have a permit. And that has always been
in the state of
law,
Connecticut,
because it is protected, because your First Amendment rights are protected, including the Second Amendment is protected. But there's reasonable, in the Heller case, there are reasonable restrictions to that and what they can do. This was
Yes, the whole
pushing
quote
the
from
envelope.
Scalia would be nice. Just they realized they cherry-picked the Heller case, but
Right,
we can talk about.
But
Scalia also said we have the right to be equally armed against as far as what the police and the military carry in a small arms unit. Whatever the police departments carry, Scalia was very specific in the Heller case. That is what we should be able to arm ourselves as civilians. But I realize to cherry pick that we can have certain restrictions on the Second Amendment. Let's have the whole thing.
And you can in your house. We're not changing you. We're not.
But I have to get fingerprints and registered. Go to the state police. Please, nobody here is being policed. I'm not being policed. I want to speak for nobody else. Maybe some other people. I don't want to take. I've been up here too long because I know other people want to talk. But I'm telling you right now, I will not comply. There you go. I'm not complying. There you go. People want to talk.
When you join the Navy and I join the Navy, did you have to take a fingerprint? Did you have to take a fingerprint to get it back?
Yes.
So there.
And I also took an oath when I went in to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I got domestic enemies now. They show their hands every day. Okay? Other people want to talk. I'll stick around afterwards. I'll talk to you guys when I'm doing the face. I can stay here for 2 hours talking about
But I
stuff.
appreciate the
I want other people to talk. But I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to comply. However it falls, it falls.